The administration's backup plan has been leaked to the press last night. Let's go to the Brain Trust. Joining us from Washington, Robert Costa, Washington editor at the National Review. Here with me in New York City, Angela Rye. Angela Rye, good to see you as well. Executive Director of the, former Executive Director of the Congressional Black Caucus and Director of Impact Strategies. And Chris Smith, contributing editor at New York Magazine. Thanks so much for being here. Do appreciate all of you coming in. Robert, we'll start with you down there in D.C. As we've been reporting, the Obama administration is preparing an immigration plan of its own. That plan could call for an 8-year path to citizenship. How are Republicans reacting to this so far?
The initial reaction from Republicans is they're quite unhappy with the White House leaking this. The key thing to watch is how Senator Marco Rubio of Florida responds. Rubio has been pushing to have what we call an enforcement trigger attached to any kind of immigration reform. And if the White House doesn't include enforcement as part of its package, you're going to see a lot of Republicans walk.
Well, Rubio has responded. He released a statement saying, in part, quote, and I'm going to share this with our viewers. Here it is. This legislation is half-baked and seriously flawed. If actually proposed, the president's bill would be dead on arrival in Congress. Angela, what do you make of that?
A whole lot. I mean, first and foremost, the fact that it's in draft form and it is a proposal, it's short-sighted of Senator Rubio to say it's dead on arrival. At what point do you pay attention to the fact that there's an amendment process? If there's something about a bill that you don't like in Congress, on both sides, on the House side and the Senate side, you can amend the bill. So that instead of being, you know, immediately opposed to whatever the president puts forward, he needs to be open to amending the bill.
Chris, we know that leaks in D.C. don't happen by accident. What's the motivation here?
Sure, there's a lot of posturing going on both sides here. And, you know, you take the substance for one. It's a draft. There's going to be a lot of back and forth. This isn't exactly an easy pass to citizenship. There's enforcement. There's some ideas about, you know, requirements, criminal records, fees, learning English, etc.
Back taxes.
Exactly. But, you know, nothing happens by accident. And you got to wonder if Senator Rubio has stepped in it to an extent here. You know, the White House leaks this. Rubio jumps up and down. It's fascinating. The Republican Party has a Latino problem, as we just saw in a big national election. Paul Ryan, who lost in that election, has been saying conciliatory things about the president's approach to immigration reform. And you have to wonder, yes, they need Rubio, they need the Senate in this process. But they may have been very happy to see him get out front like
Robert,
this.
are you surprised at all that Marco Rubio found time, by the way, on his trip to the Middle East, found time to jump on this, jumped on it before just about any other politician in this country?
I'm not surprised at all that Marco Rubio had a strong reaction to this. This is Marco Rubio's moment. He's really trying to take the reins in the Senate, and he's also important to the entire process because House Republicans, conservatives in the lower chamber, they're looking at Rubio. He's the point man. If he starts to walk away from a deal, this whole thing could go up in flames. So Rubio right now, he's the player to watch on the Republican side at least, and he wants to direct it. That's why he was so unhappy with the White House leak.
He used a key word there about directing it. There's a fight here for ownership of immigration reform, and you know that's a lot of what this is about.
But if there is a comprehensive deal, if immigration does get done, as most suspect it will, won't the president get the lion's share of the credit anyway?
I definitely think he will. He is the leader of the free world, and Marco Rubio, for all intents and purposes right now, is posturing. If he's posturing, he needs to take a more bipartisan approach to solving the immigration problem, not nitpicking the president's draft proposal.
Yeah,
but if the president wants it to pass, if the president really wants comprehensive reform to pass, he's going to have to not have it just be his project. Because if Republicans think it's all about Obama, you'll see them really shake their heads and probably negate a deal.
All right, let's leave it there. That was a fascinating conversation. We're just getting started here. This is your first Brain Trust, isn't it?